Okay, so this is going to be a video voiceover of the explanation of what happened with Cinnamon and what led me to the decision I ultimately made. I do apologize in advance for all the tears and blubbering that are likely to be seen and heard. I'm making this video because a lot of people have questioned my decision and I wanted to set some things straight. So to start, Cinnamon is a 7-year-old Abyssinian boar. I have had him since December 3rd of 2024. I got him from someone who reached out to me and said if I did not take him, he was going to be dumped, even though at the time they didn't even know he was a he. They had him as a girl, which he clearly is not. He did not get fed the proper diet or live in the proper habitat. So that was Cinnamon's start. When I got him, he had fungal foot issues and clearly had some arthritis issues. A couple months later, I noticed during a health check, a routine health check, that his front incisors were discolored. I contacted my vet because I knew this was not a normal thing with guinea pigs, even older ones. And I took him to the vet, and she diagnosed him with dental disease. The roots in his teeth were, some of them were dead, others were dying, and she said the discolored tooth would likely break off and not grow back. Not even a week later, that tooth broke off and has not since grown back, and this was back in, I believe, February. So things went on like that for a couple months. He was doing fine. He was eating. Actually, the better part of a year. He was eating and doing great. His teeth were not too long. But eventually, his incisors, the top ones, started overgrowing because he did not have the bottom incisor there to be able to grind them down, so the one above it started overgrowing. So I took him to the vet, and we talked about the options. We decided to try a tooth trim. And while she did the tooth trim, she was also going to, while she had him unconscious for the tooth trim, she was going to go in there and take a look at his molars. Well, she did the tooth trim, everything did well. He woke up fine, he was eating and doing good. However, when she was looking at his molars while he was out, she discovered his molars were worn down nearly to the gum line. And because of his teeth not growing like they should, well, some of his teeth not growing like they should, they weren't going to come back. They were just going to continue to wear down. Well, recently, I took him to Piggy's Paradise for a conscious tooth trim because it was too dangerous to put him under again so soon, and his incisors were just growing way too quickly. And the reason they were growing so quickly was because he didn't have his molars, so he couldn't chew on things. He couldn't grind his teeth down. Well, after that, he came home, and he was doing fine for a bit. But he started struggling to eat the things I knew he loved, like carrots and peppers, his hay, his pellets. He was struggling to eat the most basic things that I knew he enjoyed. And I used a tool I have that I got from Saskia's website to go ahead and check his molars using the tool and my headlight. and I didn't see anything back there. I didn't see any molars. All I saw was gums. And that answered for me why he was struggling so much to eat. And it wasn't going to get any better. It was only going to get worse. He wouldn't be able to eat. He would either need around-the-clock critical care feedings, or he would likely end up starving to death. And even with the critical care feedings, critical care is nearly impossible to sustain a guinea pig long-term when there's no other form of food going into them. So I talked to my vet, and we made the decision that it was time to let Cinnamon go, which has by far been definitely one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make. As of the time of me recording this video, he is still with us, but by the time it uploads, he will likely have been already euthanized. But this is not a decision that I made easily or lightly. I have discussed it greatly with my other friends and my husband and my vet. And in my heart, I know it's the right decision for him, but that doesn't make it any easier. He's still Cinnamon, he's still bright, and he's still perky. I'd rather do it now than do it and letting him suffer later. There's a saying I've seen a lot, and it's better to do it a day early than a day late. And I made that mistake with Clover. I waited way too long, and in the end she suffered because her body began to shut down. I will not make that mistake again. I will not have Cinnamon go through that. So while he is still happy, even though he is struggling the way he is, I'm making the decision to go ahead and help him over the rainbow bridge, because he deserves comfort, he deserves love. He does not deserve to suffer, and I won't let him suffer. Like I said, it's one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make. There have been so many vet appointments, so many medications, tooth trims, life accommodations that I've made for him before we got to this point. I have done everything I could possibly think of to help him and make his life easier, make it easier for him to thrive. But now, at this point, there's nothing else I can do. He is struggling despite my very best efforts. Even when I puree his food, he still struggles. And that's not okay. He deserves better than that. And so, with dignity and respect and love, I have chosen to let him go. And I'm making this video to set that fact straight, because when I first started posting about Cinnamon, I had people telling me to let him go when he wasn't ready to go yet. He was still doing okay, still eating. The medications were helping. They kept his arthritis in check and helped with his dental pains. And then, when I went and posted that I was going to make this decision, I had people questioning why I was doing it. Why I didn't just put him on a soft food diet. Anyone who knows guinea pig anatomy knows guinea pigs thrive on a fibrous, coarse diet. And a guinea pig who can't eat is not a happy guinea pig. If you have guinea pigs, you know they love to eat. They love to chew. If they can't do that, then that's not living. At that point, if you're just giving them critical care and letting them live on that, that's not living. That is just surviving. And Cinnamon, to me, deserves more than to just be surviving. Quality of life matters. And that is what I had to take into consideration with Cinnamon, is his quality of life. And the quality of life has diminished greatly. And to me, that is the only reason I need to know that this is the best decision for him. We have to do what's best for our babies and put it ahead of how we feel and our emotions. Because at the end of the day, their happiness and their quality of life is what matters more than anything else. If you're still with me and you took the time to watch this video, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for being here, and I thank everyone for their support. If you enjoyed the video or found it educational, please hit like and please hit subscribe. If you've been through similar instances, I would love to hear about it in the comments. Until next time, guys. Stay happy and stay healthy.